Hello, everybody. I'm Overhaul, and today we are reviewing Fire Force Chapter 257. The usual disclaimer at the beginning of my videos. I am not a kid-specific channel, although the topics I discuss might look like the topics I discuss here might look like they're for kids. It's very likely I will either start talking about things that are not for kids, describing things that are not for kids, or just use words that are not meant for kids. In fact, this chapter alone has pretty much be called a swear chapter because, well, there's a lot of swearing in it, and you can tell it's swearing because every time they say it, they censor it with a fweet 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 or fweet fweet or whatever sound the whistle makes. So yeah, if you're a child, do not watch this video. As for anyone else, let's get into this video. Now, the first thing I would like to talk about it is not really the chapter itself, but like the release dates for Fire Force. Why is it the Fire Force has undated releases? Like the other series, from what I heard, actually do have a consistent release schedule. Like a like Four Horsemen of Apocalypse comes out some at the early of the week. I think somewhere around Tuesday, if I remember correctly. And Zero also has that sort of, I think also releases in that sort of time period. But why is it that Fire Force gets released on every, completely randomly? One time it could be immediately 2 days after Friday. The other time it could be right after, the other time it can be Saturday. Sometimes it could be literally until Monday. Seriously, what's up with the release schedule with Fire Force? Is it something like is it because every other translator is busy with other manga that I'm just not following and that's why? I don't know, it bothers does me because seriously, some get really most manga I follow get have a pretty consistent release schedule unless if they switch it somewhere during the year. But for the most part, it's consistent. How even when they switch it, it still comes out in for a while. You're on the same date. But yeah, Fire Force completely random. But anyways, with that tangent out of the way, let's get into it. Now, this chapter pretty much just gives us a little bit of fighting between the characters, and we start this with Raka and Karin and Ha Yu Yan, I believe it's translated. It's pronounced. I probably butchered it massively, but let's ignore it. So we have it, and Karin, surprisingly enough, really is kind of more excited to see him again. He is more like, oh, we can be friends again and back together and all that. Really, kind of weird. I suppose it does make sense. They've been friends for a while, and let's figure this. You have only like a couple of minutes, well, an hour, hours at best that you knew that he was a red-hearted son of a bitch or bastard. So I guess it does make sense that he would be first spot to see him come back to life would be, oh, we can be friends again instead of combatively. And since this Raka is how they viewed Raka in their mind, he would probably also act pretty much the same. So yeah. Now, unlike Karin, Haryun is actually alright. This is clearly just a doppelganger. There's literally a hole in the chest where he was killed. So he goes into a fight. Now, this fight is the best way to describe it. It's actually a fight that's very clear that Raka has no chance in it because for most of it, the chapter, it's just Raka versus for most of their fight in this chapter, it's just Raka versus Hyun, and Hyun, having lack of an arm, Raka has a bit of an advantage. So nothing really except it goes into their personalities and how they kind of react to the whole thing. Hyun is more okay with that. He knows what's going on. While Karin is, I guess, we kind of could be friends. Like you just use your trick, you were killed by the White Lads. So yeah, it's pretty much that. And Raka is pretty much the same as he was when he was fighting Shinra, like despair Come on, let's turn this one to the second sun together. So yeah, nothing really all that much to talk about. I'm definitely wondering if this fight will be always like just like a cut between, or if they are gonna have a full chapter to dedicate to themselves. But honestly, the most important part about to take away from this is the fact that the special Cataclysm Execution Force is there. And when I say there, I don't mean like they're waiting to jump in. It seems like they're on a building close to it and looking down on what's happening with Raqqa. It's important to mention this because well, we don't know if they're all of them, but we can assume they're all of them there. But yeah, what's important to mention is the fact that Farian, 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 the Gravity Kit is there as well. As so, you might ask why is Gravity Kit there means anything? Well, if you recall, the person who killed to Raqqa originally, that's the reason there's a giant hole there, it's Arrow. And if you remember, because which is possible you don't, Fieri in his end of his fight with Shu stated that he should have been Shu's guardian, not that coward who was hiding somewhere and shooting arrows from afar. So, if you go by the simple logic of anime, that sounds like a fight if I ever saw one. And also, the fact is, we have no confirmation where Arrow is. I mean, seriously, we don't. Go back in it. We know that Maki, Obi, the Hinoa are somewhere saving the citizens. We know Licht isn't all that far away with Joker. We know Vulcan is driving Arthur to the 8th Cathedral, which we find at the end of this chapter. But we have no idea. We don't know where Tamaki and Lisa are as well, but we can assume they're gonna be doing the same thing as the rest of the Company 8. It's pretty much been confirmed with them all standing there and pronouncing it. But Arrow, we have no idea where she is. We can assume that she's helping, but honestly, I do not. Honestly, I'm kind of. Although, as far as we also know, she's probably changing into a different outfit. After all, I feel like there will be probably some confusion if this random white-clad chick is constantly helping. I mean, maybe because I don't believe there's any implication that Robbie said, "Oh, by the way, one of the white-clads, the chick that killed Raqqa, is helping us now, and if you see her shooting arrows, that one is an ally." I don't know. But anyways, it's important to mention this because we're probably gonna get Fieri versus Arrow pretty soon, which I'm excited about. So then we cut to the former Captain Company 4 versus Pan and the Shield Karen. And this fight is honestly, I was kind of underestimating Shield Curry and Pan because they're not doing all that horribly against them. It's a clear, oh shit, we need Uga. Without him, he's kind of our main attack force. So they do acknowledge the fact they are weakened, but Pan is very confident he can buff himself up to a point that he can defeat the former Captain Company 4. And unlike Karin from Company 1, where he kind of doesn't want to fight, both of them are pretty resolved to take him down, probably because, unlike them, they're not like, alright, you died and it's tragic and we saw your corpse. So, yeah, we are kind of aware of it. Also, the thing is that Company 4's characters have met themselves like superior to lower ranks, while Raqqa, Karin, and Huron have been pretty much together as friends for like. Honestly, I want to say that was for their life, but we know that's not the case. But it could have been they've been friends since like they were in school or something. I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't ever. I don't believe it was just there when the three of them came together. It's just been known that they are been together for a long, long time. If I think they're all in their late 20s or somewhere, so it would make sense. But yeah, we base another that I have to mention is the fact that basically have Pan's basically his entire dialogue this chapter is like epic speech and curse words because he said stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick tweet," and cap- the captain's name, and yeah, pretty much it's just him saying an epic speech and just cursing throughout it, and those curses being changed with the tweet, which is honestly pretty hilarious if you really think about it. Like it's in line with his character, and you can. It's clear, really, everyone knows what you mean. Like if you censor the specific words in a sentence, like everyone knows what you're actually talking about, but it comes out so hilarious. Is so yeah. Now Pan states that he will buff himself up even though he'll get extremely beaten up. So I'm guessing this means so I am thinking that he can boost himself up to his above his limits, but those who have the repercussions, or maybe he just means that he's gonna get beaten up because the former captain of Company 4 was someone who physically was intimidating, not fire force, not the fire ignite ability. My apologies for that, Carl. There have been some problems. My apologies for the cough there. There's something seems to be in my throat the last couple of days. I'm not sure if that stupid mask is responsible for it, I've or if just my hair fall into my throat or something. I'm not sure exactly. All I know is that it's really uncomfortable. So yeah, back to the review. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's gonna be a if Pond's tweets are giving make it if he can make himself so powerful he can take down the captain, or if he and he will a percussion will be a lot of damage on himself, or if he'll just get extreme beaten up because their captain is a physical powerhouse, and that's why he became a captain. Like remember, captains like Obi and the Company 4 captains are not really all that impressive what you consider the nine ability characters. But when it comes to characters who don't have like straight on destructive ignite abilities, and they are not really all that to speak of when it comes to like their base combat, they might essentially just be the shortest characters in the world because like it's really difficult to be defeating anyone. So say, I would like to get the number of characters who you can fight pretty evenly with Obi's physical strength. Like who can really put up that much of a fight. Like Beimao would probably, but and Maki also would probably have a good chance, but everyone else would probably just get crushed by his muscles. I mean, isn't it been pretty much confirmed at this point that Obi is superhuman in terms of physical strength? So yeah, it's not going to be an easy fight. And again, I'm curious if this fight is going to be cut away, cut to, if it's going to have an entire chapter towards it. I don't know, really. But I'm excited to see. Now, let me get back to the end of the chapter where we see Vulcan driving Arthur to the 8th Cathedral for a trial to become the true Night King. So, and that seems to be what the next chapter is gonna be, according to the name of the next chapter, the trials. So, I'll be totally honest, I don't really hope we get that much of a, focus on it. Like, I mean, the fight between Dragon and Alpha is gonna be top class, we all know it. But, it's just that, how do I say this, Alpha Dragon, they're kind of like the second to last fight type of thing, and having them be one of the earlier fights in the series. I mean, let's be real here. Ritsu hasn't shown up, and who knows where she is. Yuna hasn't even we don't even know where Yuna is right now. And the special characters and force are literally just standing on a building with maybe one of them going to a fight if a certain chick shows up. So yeah, it's a little too early for Dragon versus Arthur right now, but who knows? Maybe we gotta get like the first part of the trial, and then we'll just get into everything else done. Like or how maybe like the trial will be like the most important part of the next chapter, but it's not gonna be like the only thing. We might even get like the fights. And after all, that old chapters in manga really go as specific to the details in to a chapter what happens in it as you'd think. I mean, Black Clover in the last couple of chapters had a chapter with the name, I believe it was Golden Dawn Vice Captains, but that chapter only be started with the Vice Captains. Everything else was Charlotte based. It would make more sense to call it the Red and Blue Roses, if anything, or the Captain of the Red and Blue Roses, or something. Not Golden Dawn's Vice Captains. So yeah, I'm very curious about what's going to be. I hope it's not just gonna. I also hope it's not gonna be a complete comedy thing. Honestly, the way I view it is probably gonna be something like Ugan's relationship with Arthur when after the whole conflict. I remember even like in Spanish and the whole conflict with the knights and heroes. It's extremely possible. I definitely feel like there's some questions there and something you could answer. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the chapter. There's not really all that much else to speak of. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all people next time. Bye.